Welcome to Primo RV Center, inside a long-awaited debut for us here of a new model for us here at Primo RV Center. Not new for rpod, but new for 26. This is a brand new 197, so a very short tandem for rpod. It is standard with a Murphy bed here, which I'll quickly show you here. It takes about 20 seconds, if that, to deploy, and it really changes the feel of the layout in here. But certainly the focus on this layout being a small tandem, no slide, which I know a lot of our clients certainly love. The fact that you have this absolutely massive window here looking out onto your campsite with a full shade here that certainly can keep the sun out, also keep the bugs out as well for you, certainly is an absolute difference maker when you go off grid, which so many of our customers are doing. So you have bug screen just below, and then we do have our blackout shade here, even if you want to partially shade it. Just the amount of air, just opening that up with a gentle breeze today. If you cannot run the air conditioner, that coupled with the windows across the way, it makes a massive difference in how much you can cool this unit. So speaking of cooling, we're going to quickly deploy the Murphy bed here in a second, and you'll see again even more cooling. So we'll just note while we have the sofa here set up that we do have great storage underneath here, easy access drawers. We have two cabinets on either side of the bed that go back about 3 feet, so they would be great ones for a long basket to make life easy. You've got USB and 120 volt here on either side of the bed. The rpods are ready for an inverter in the future, should you wish to deploy one, so it's something that's upgradable. It has a huge list of standard features, but there is also some things where if you are starting to do more off-grid travel, we do have 200 watts of solar already here, that certainly you could add to that. So adding more and larger lithium batteries certainly would you allow to use that very well. We've got a couple of cabinets to hang things on either side here as well. So let me just point out how easy and simple it is, and it really does change the layout when you have this deployed. So again, I'm doing this all one-handed here. One latch, bed comes down. Big change, because you've actually got a lot of room in front of that bed. And so the big deal here on the front is that that front window will open. So you can imagine you've got a breeze coming through there, especially when you're off grid. You've got a bug screen you can deploy there as well. And then you couple that with the side window here as well. Again, bug screen deployed, and you've got all the windows on either side of the bed, here in the kitchen, and you even have one in the bathroom as well. So again, you've got that front to back. So in terms of a layout that gives you just amazing airflow, especially if you're someone who doesn't particularly like running air conditioning a lot, this unit was really going to appeal to you. Tip to tail, it's 23 feet, and then it is 4,170 pounds as we see it here, with all the features on board that we'll be showing you. So you do have some room up front here, just in front of those cabinets. So if you want to be able to put in the CPAP machine or things like that, you can. There's a couple of armrests I didn't have in place, which are just tucked in the front for the couch, so those are there and come with it as well. So again, a unit that has a high feature level here. You'll love the fact that, again, if you've got sun coming from a particular side, we're going to have these great little soft closed blinds here on either side, so you can deploy those as well to block things out. And then you note here you do have quite a bit of space even with the bed down. So that's a great little spot where you could have a shoe and boot tray. You could do the same thing here, but if you want it completely out of the way of the door, that's a great little spot. Also could be a great spot if you've got a smaller dog, little dog bed there. Certainly they can live at the foot of the bed. So just entering our kitchen here, we do have a lot of the controls here, just above and below. So we're going to highlight what those are. So we do have our solar monitor here, so it'll show you how much is coming into the battery. So it's a good way to get an indication of what you're returning on a shadier day versus a day that is a little more sunny. If you went to something like high-end lithium batteries, we are a big believer in Epoch, the brand, so we do carry those. They'll have a battery management system. We'll show you the exact condition of the battery, so that's also very handy. Here we have our Furrion controls here, thermostat for our air conditioning unit, just central here, as well as our furnace. Just below, we do have a GFI outlet for the kitchen. And then we do have our ignition here for things like our water heater. So our water heater is a tankless Suburban water heater. Controls are right there for it. Our water pump switch is here. And then we can also check on the capacities of our tanks in terms of how full they are. So again, everything easily at your fingertips. As soon as you walk in the door, if you want to check on anything, just directly ahead over here. So you don't have to open anything, open a slide. They've made life very easy here for you. So for 2026, this model, they have a little bit of an update here. We've got both a microwave, a convection, and an air fryer. So it can do all three. So it does many things here in one, which is great, especially when you're talking about an RV. Makes it a little more compact. This unit shares certainly a lot of feel with the 192, which is a bestseller for us, which is a single axle rpod. And certainly for rpod itself, typically floor plan A or B of their best sellers. What you'll notice in this model is you get a whole section more of counter space. So typically on, say, the 192 model, you're going to cap out at about this point. That's going to be your kitchen. So here we've added another whole section here. So certainly if you're if you're someone who does or is planning to do some longer trips, I think that kitchen could work very, very well for you looking at the two models, as well as the tandem axle. So again, additional set of brakes, lots of stability. Unit sits nicely high, so it keeps things out of harm's way. So that certainly tandem axle will help with that stability as well. So again, some more switches here directly when we come in. So we've got all our main kind of light switches here for you. Awning light, we have our awning in and out switch here. Just above that, the connectivity for the built-in Bluetooth speakers in the ceiling for you, as well as outside, so you can choose which ones are on. In the kitchen, lots of storage, so lots of room up top here for most of your dishes. I'll point out too, we do have tire pressure monitoring system here. That is our screen that will go into the vehicle. We've got our 2-burner stove that'll flip back. Can be a little protection against the wall here. This is vinyl, just to point out, so that is easily cleaned. You can just wipe it off, so it's not paper. We do have our furnace centrally located here. Got our drawers here, which have added slow close mechanisms now, so we do have the ability to slow close them. Our cabinets, again, also slow close. So very, very handy here. And then we've got our outlet there in the dead center. There is a USB as well, if that could be handy for you. We do have some blinds in the kitchen as well. Nice high-rise faucet here. And then we do have the insert, the cutting board here that can drop right inside. So again, you can have full counter space here right across. So certainly you can lay food out for the day for people if you're camping with others so they can help themselves, or just for yourselves, again, pick at things through the day. And then you have this wonderful little luncheonette counter here. It can also be a great little workspace. And you do have some storage here. So kind of items that you may not, I was looking at it going, well, it'd be a great one to kind of stack up your toilet paper, stack up your paper towels. Certainly could be very usable for that. And then we couple that with a 12-volt TV. So this is something you could use off-grid as well. So we are just picking up free signals over the air here. Typically in town, we'll get 5 or 6 channels. As you get into the woods, typically you get less. Again, you could add something like Starlink or other services should you wish to have that on the road, and especially if you want to be in the middle of nowhere. You're going to have plug-in here as well as USB. So again, if you did have to do a bit of work from the road, or certainly more and more customers are planning to be able to do that 1 or 2 days a week and really extend those weekends and make them all long weekends, this unit certainly works very well, especially if you happen to have a bit of a view this way. It can work very, very well. Certainly those chairs can come outside too, so very, very versatile. Especially if you're a dog owner, that is one thing I've noticed in this particular unit, say versus the 192, because you don't have that full width dinette, it definitely, when you walk in, you definitely feel the difference in the room and the space along the floor. So something to keep in mind if you're a dog owner. This unit certainly would tailor itself well to being a non-slide unit. That also works really well for a dog or two, just depending on their size. As we continue down from the kitchen here, we've got our huge fridge here. So Furrion makes a great 12-volt fridge. They do have an off-grid mode to it as well, so you can switch into that just again to help to conserve some of that power. Just below that, we do have our power converter. It is lithium battery ready. That's what that sticker is telling us. So ready right away to add lithium. Probably the #1 series for us to add lithium to is our rpods and the sister ship, the Surveyor. Just well set up with solar on the roof, so kind of it works well together. And typically something like our Epoch batteries would give you something like 10 years warranty plus. So typically traditional RV or 6 volts, you're going to go through 2 or 3 times that many batteries in that time span. So you get the money back long term. Great little feature here they continue to add and keep in stock, which is the vacuum. So you have attachments, which I'll show you in a second, and you have the ability to sweep in here. We've got our huge pantry / closet. So you'll see those attachments for the vacuum below. So down underneath here, you do have a great spot where you can completely bury the boots and shoes and hiking boots and everything else. And then again, you could keep kind of a bottom shelves for cleaning supplies, things like that. The top 2 could be pantry, however you wish to divide it. So you've got a lot of room to work with here, which is everybody certainly loves. And then as we get to the bathroom, again, everything is accessible on the road because there is no slide. So the full coach is road mode ready, as they say. So you've got skylight on the top here, great proprietary screen coming across, a nice rectangular 30-inch wide shower here. You've got some storage below. We've got a lit mirror here for you, as well as some storage just below that. Love the fact there is a window back here. So again, you get that forward and rear window that you can open to get those breezes coming right through if you're lucky enough to be in a position where that works. And then you've got great big storage back here. So this is a great spot for extra bedding, towels, some extra clothes, cold weather gear, that kind of stuff. Love the new camping themed feature wall here. You've already got some hooks installed. And then we do have the better Furrion fan, so 4-speed out. So again, a quieter, more efficient fan there that you can let run. Let's take you outside and show you the many features here that you can use outside as well. We're going to come down here through our steady steps here. We've got our lend a hand, so very handy. And we'll just bring it back around to the front here. So in the very front, we are going to have a standard front power jack, 2 standard propane tanks. We've got a battery rack here that can certainly handle 2, perhaps 3 batteries, just depends on the battery, and we can reconfigure them for different battery sizes as well. We're going to have the repeater for our tire pressure monitor system. We've got a kill switch here for batteries, very handy for storage. And that's our front acrylic window that is dual pane that you can open, that does have the bug screen as well as the blackout shade. We do have a couple of forward-facing LED lights, nice high stone guard here, so if you get really out there, it's going to protect the body. We've got 4 oversized jacks, we just haven't deployed them currently here. In the front, we've got some goodies stored away. So pass-through storage, magnetic latches. We do have our griddle, which will integrate on the side, and we'll show you there in just a second. We do have our spray hose here as well. We have USB in the front, and we have our forward-facing lights, and we have a light that'll automatically turn on as soon as we have any motion in there as well. Have our awning coming past the door and past the window, also over top of our outside kitchen and over top of our window here as well. So again, that can bring shade there for you. So you've got a spot here that's great for breakfast. Throw some eggs and bacon on there, and then we could integrate our griddle right next to here for you. As we mentioned inside, tandem axles with the tire pressure monitor system. We do have our hot and cold water here where we can set up a little outdoor wash station. We've got our black tank flush. We do have an additional outlet, which could be very handy for plugging in the coffee maker if you've got power on site. And then we have easy access to our tankless hot water heater, which is going to be a propane hot water heater from Suburban. And then we do have a standard hitch off the back rated for 350 pounds, which is wonderful for e-bikes because we have more and more customers that continue to add e-bikes. We do carry a full line of Swagman bike racks, which does have a number for e-bikes as well. So if that's something that you have a need for, we do have them here, incoming. We've got a mount for a ladder that you can add at any time. Again, their outside window here, which is nicely tinted, so it'll help with the sun. We've got a pre-wire for our backup camera, standard spare tire. As we come around to the backside, you'll see nicely high off the ground. We've got our easy access to our black and gray. Again, you'll get nice flow there because you do have some good height off the ground, and there's not really any chance that that's going to ground out anywhere, which I love. 30 amp service should you wish to add and use AC. If you're not looking to use AC, you could certainly get away with an adapter at 15 or 20 amps. We do have outside lighting here, so motion lighting. If you've got some critters passing by, it'll turn on. We do have cable and satellite prep, should you have it in your campsite at some point. Love the fact that they were able to locate the furnace on the backside, so you don't have to worry about leaning back with your chair and smell some burning plastic. Who hasn't done that? We've got, again, the backside here of our kitchen window, so great airflow through the width here. This is our emergency exit window here, right next to our couch and bed area. We've got our water fill for those occasions when you don't have water on site. And then we do have our water connection here for on-site water. And we do have some great bus-style latches here for you. As we come around the front side here, beautiful front, like I said, opening window here. This is the brand new 2026 197 rpod. Super excited to have this very small tandem axle unit that will be wonderful for crisscrossing the country, planning some big trips and big adventures. We invite you out to Primo Center. Come have a look at this brand new 26 197.